I'm joined in studio for another segment with arguably the top surfer in all of Canada, Pete Devries. First ASP event to ever be held in Canadian soil. I'm talking about the ONeill Cold Water Classic Tofino. It's going to be happening in October. Raph Breweiler was on the show a couple weeks back, and I talked to him and got his feelings on it, and he kind of shared some info on the wildcard system, how they're basically, I believe, I don't know Noah's last name, but he's an ONeill rider.
Yeah, Noah Cohen.
Noah Cohen, so he's automatically getting in because of ONeill.
Yes.
And then they're going to have basically like a trial contest to determine just one or two locals that are going to get in for the remaining seats.
Apparently the word right now is two locals will get in. I'm hoping it's more. I'm hoping it's as many as 8 or 10 guys will get in.
Right.
But that will obviously only happen if guys don't show up for the event.
Right.
Which is a possibility with other events running over the same time period.
Could be, yeah.
So I'm just really hoping we can get as many locals in as possible.
What's your take on this? For people that don't know, when this contest comes here in October, this is a huge deal because for those of you that don't follow like the surfing's like tour and all that, like when there's 6 stars associated with a qualifying series event, that's as big as it gets in terms of prestige, in terms of rating points. That's what this contest is tagged with. It's going to be a 6-star contest where a lot of the top surfers in the world are going to be trying to get some points so they can get on the world tour next year. You know all the pros. You've been around globally. You're the top surfer in Canada. Like how do you see this whole area transforming when like 140 surfers show up, 40 journalists show up? I've been telling everybody they're all alcoholics. You might have exceptions here and there, but a lot of them just love to rage. How do you think this area is going to transform?
Oh, I don't know if you can call them all alcoholics.
I say it in a good way.
Those guys, you know what? The tour has totally changed.
Yeah, it is changing.
Guys are getting down to business. They're all professionals now. Especially in these times, you got to make your money count and make your trips really count. So most of the guys on tour are focused in training and working on heat strategy when they're at home, and when they're on the road, they're all business.
But when you say that, is it safe to say that the professionals you're referring to that are really committed and focused in training, maybe like 10% of all of them? And then, or do you really think this has become, because all the guys I talk to, they still say that, yeah, I was up till 5 a.m, partying in Spain, and I got up with a massive hangover and went on to surf my heat and lost, and I'm heading home. But that seems to be what I hear more often than, I'm committed and, I'm just... So you really think this transformation's like full steam now?
I believe it's the majority of the guys that come up here. I mean, there obviously will be a few guys who get a little loose, but usually that's after the contest is finished or after they're eliminated. But there's not really any downtime for these guys, because the next week there's a 6-star prime in Santa Cruz, the ONeill Cold Water Classic final stop.
That's right, yeah.
So basically, once those guys are knocked out of the event, they're going to head down there and start training for that event right away. So
yeah, and I've covered that event. I mean, that's been going around for like 20 years or something like that. And again, the ONeill Cold Water Classic, the reason why they call it a series now, it's just 5 stops. It started in Tasmania, went through I think Scotland, South Africa, and this is the 4th stop before it ends in Santa Cruz. Now, you've competed against Raph and Sep numerous times.
Yes.
Do you guys have a friendly rivalry? Are you guys friends in general? What's the whole relationship between you and the Breweilers? Because you two are pretty much like the top. When people mention who the best surfers are in this area, it's you and Raph and Seb Breweiler. How is you guys' relationship? Is it competitive or is it completely friendly?
It's kind of a bit of both, I mean, I'm quite a bit younger than those guys, so we didn't really grow up surfing together. So it just kind of, when I started shooting photos with Jeremy Koreski and getting into that we started hanging out more, and it's a competitive, semi-competitive, semi-friendly kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
How much of an advantage do you think you're going to have? Let's say hypothetically you qualify through the trials and you're in this contest. How much of an advantage do you think you'll have versus the rest of the field, considering these breaks a lot better than they do?
Yeah, the hard thing with our waves are they're all beach breaks. They change every single day, and
right.
our tide and swell and wind, it's changing, ever changing. So you've got one bank that works for 20 minutes, and then another bank that starts to work for another 20 minutes.
Right.
So it's all up in the air, really. I mean, it's a bit of an advantage being able to surf in colder water and being used to gloves and booties and
Right.
hood and all those things that you're going to need to wear at that time of the year.
During the summer here, I hear a lot of the locals gripe about how small it is. I've seen a few really good days. I've also seen this place, like the ocean, turn into a lake for a week. What kind of board do you ride during the summer and during the winter? Like, do you keep it short regardless, or do you have to bring a bigger board out for the summer? I mean, like, what are you riding?
Yeah, I generally stick to the same board. I ride an AKA, and it's 5'11" by 18 by 2.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm a light guy, I weigh like 150 pounds, so pretty used to generating speed in small mushy waves around the summertime.
I've always said, like, that's what differentiates the pros from the rest of the surfers is your ability to catch waves when there are no waves while you're riding a 2-inch thick shortboard. That's insane, man. And it goes all back to paddle strength. Do you train, or do you do anything outside of surfing to train?
I don't do too much. I kind of like to get into other sports if I'm going to do any cross training. I've been playing a lot of tennis this summer, actually,
Nice.
which has been fun. And
Good stuff, man. So tennis and surfing, that's your whole training regimen?
I mean, for surfing, I surf to train. Paddling in a 5 mil wetsuit all year with gloves on, that's a pretty good workout for me. And you know, I just enjoy doing sport in general. So I'm not
Right.
much of a guy to go to the gym and do that kind of stuff. So.
Right. That's amazing. Have you ever been tempted to move away from Canada to, like, settle somewhere else?
No, I've never been tempted. I mean, I love it here. This place is my home, and you know, I've grown up here, and I haven't really found anywhere else in the world where I'd like to live full time.
Are you a single man?
No, I've got a wonderful girlfriend, Lisa,
Beautiful.
at home.
The man, Pete Devries, is off the market, ladies. Sorry. Good stuff. Do you have any other surf trips coming up? Anywhere else you're going to be going?
Nothing set in stone. There's a potential trip to Russia that I am trying to figure out.
Russia.
Russia.
Surf in Russia.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you're going to be on. Are we talking Pacific Ocean or Arctic?
It would be near Vladivostok in the Sea of Japan. Actually, it's I think where the trip is headed.
Do you know who you'd be? Is this going to be a Hurley trip?
It's it's a Surfline trip. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Because this area gets such huge waves in the wintertime, have you ever considered evolutionizing into being a big wave surfer? Because I'm sure you've surfed some incredibly large waves.
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't really kind of locked into, say, the toe spots and, you know, the kind of the potential that we have for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard because all of our weather systems are so concentrated on the area.
Mm-hmm.
So when the swell comes, we get tons of weather and wind with it. So
Right.
it's really hard to access those spots. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely an option. It's definitely out there.
Have you ever surfed any of the huge global big wave spots like a Mavericks, Jaws, these kind of places?
No, I've never really done that. Surfed in Hawaii, the North Shore of Hawaii,
Mhm.
quite a bit. You know,
Dude, Sunset gets heavy.
yeah, surfed Sunset pretty large.
Nice.
It's a great wave.
Remember a couple years ago they had a QS event there where I just watching this webcast, couldn't believe my eyes. There were like 20-foot waves coming through. They had actually canceled the girls contest. It was too big.
Yeah,
Figure-
Sunset gets serious, that's for sure.
That's insane, man. Well, Pete, best of luck at the ONeill Coldwater Classic. Safe to say you're going to be one of the favorites to win it. I mean, countless times we've seen, you know, contests happening where the local surfers win because they know the break better than anybody. So best of luck, man. And dude, thank you so much for driving down here. Thanks for the time, Pete.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for letting me on the show.